fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 hit him, listen. This Eagles talk high, this talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shelley, Dante the dark child. Drop the stats on him, drop the facts on him. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Right. Oh, shucks. You there, Pat?
Yeah. We live. What's going on, Eagles
Oh, I'm
family?
sorry.
Dante's.
Hey, welcome. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. You hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'm in a bad area. I'm all right. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. We are doing Eagles Talk. I'm on the road again. I'm not at my daughter's volleyball practice, though, this time. I'm on the road traveling to Memphis. But we have some things to talk about. We have some serious issues going on with our Philadelphia Eagles. 2-game skid. Didn't look good. Doesn't look good. Is it time to panic? We'll talk about it. Pat, how do you feel? You saw the game last week. You got a chance to go over it. What are your thoughts about what you saw Sunday night?
I mean, teams have these skids. Did we get smacked around these past 2 weeks? Maybe be a little bit tired, of course. But you know what? It's not time to panic. At 10-3, if you tell me to panic at 10-3, then I think we do have. I don't think we have that many issues if we're talking about a team at 10-3 to panic. So right now, I'm okay with our team. As long as we can go ahead and do Seattle and do what we got to do, we should be all right. We should be all right.
All right, well, let's get this show on the road here. You are watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And Eagles Talk is like a football team that is the Eagles review. So it's such a relaxed fan that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of package, the culture, because I don't think bourbon. What do you got, Pat?
No, I was going to do Blanton's, but I put it back on the shelf. I'm doing the Romantica. I haven't had this since the last time we won a game, so I'm doing a Romantica tequila.
All right, so Pat's doing the tequila. I'm going to sip on my. I do have something strong. I hope I can make it through the show. I got an energy drink here, so I'm going to take a sip on this, and I hope I make it through the show. Um, so here we go. To our Philadelphia Eagles, no time to panic, people, and I'll make the case for that right after we do this. All right, here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Listening to the
All right, so let's talk about it. I saw on Sunday, it wasn't pretty. We know that. It didn't look pretty. The same, almost the same thing that they got us the week before. The Dallas Cowboys did a copy and paste for their game plan. They just looked at what the 49ers did, and they did exactly the same thing. And guess what? It worked again. So that's a cause for concern, right? It didn't take much. The 49ers showed just where our weaknesses were, and the Cowboys came out and took advantage of those same weaknesses. So although I am concerned that we need to shore up those weaknesses, we need to fill those holes that they've exposed. I don't think it's time to panic. Um, where was the run at, Pat? I didn't see. I thought they abandoned the run too early. I think that they're too pass happy. I think that the offense is predictable, like we heard leaked in the news this week. Offense is predictable. I don't think that Jalen Hurts necessarily regressed, right? I just think that he's not getting the play design or the play calling that he needs. We know he can throw the ball long, but those pass routes are definitely too deep. He has to wait too long for them to develop. Why can't we do some underneath intermediate routes? Um, I saw a lot of, and then let's talk about the play of our stars because they didn't help out the situation at all, right?
Yeah,
We had
definitely.
3 fumbles by 3 of our stars. These are supposed to be stars. I mean, the veterans and stars of this team. And if you're going to be a successful team, instead of your stars costing you game, you're looking for your stars to perform in a manner in which they're pulling the game out, and that wasn't the case on Sunday night.
No, it definitely wasn't the case. We basically gave back 21 a possible 21 points. This game was relatively been close. If you look at the score that we have right now, it was 13-33. If you do the 21 extra points that we would have had from those 3 drives of drop passes, we would have won the game by 1 point. Yes, is it predictable? Some of the stuff has been predictable. The routes, the concepts, they're not taking advantage of going across the field. If you go look at the route tree, which I saw of AJ Brown, he has one small route going across the middle. He's a slant monster. He's a slant monster. Catch the ball and go upfield. But you're 100% right, Dark Knight. Our stars did not show up. Meaning AJ Brown had a beautiful pass put right in the breadbasket, dropped it on the sideline within the 10-yard line. Devontae Smith had a pass thrown to him. Normally he would go get those passes right through his hands. The three costly fumbles, they cost us points.
Hmm.
The offense didn't score a touchdown the first time this season they ever scored a touchdown on offense. Our linebackers, listen, it's very crucial that we keep one person in the middle of the field. I don't care how they do it. Take 2 linebackers, keep one linebacker on the field, and put the rest of the defensive backs so we can match up. But we need that one linebacker in the middle of the field protecting that because all that is all these teams are taking advantage of. They're taking advantage of us leaving these particular zones wide open because we want to go man all the time. Um, the aggression from our defensive line is not there like it was. Uh, Again, I go back to say this: we did play 3 games in 13 days. They could be a little bit tired. I mean, that's expected. This one day extra day of rest may rejuvenate this team to propel them to finish the season strong. Uh, but when a play is there for you, you have to make the play.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't want to hear that tired stuff. I don't want to hear that fatigue, and it may be the case, but I don't want to hear it because we played this soft ass preseason where nobody
Hmm.
plays anymore. Their whole training camp and the such is to preserve these players for these situations right here, so they're not tired and the such. I mean, I don't agree with it, but that's what they do as a precaution to not wear these guys out. So you can't get to this point in the season to tell me that these guys are tired. Come on,
Uh,
I don't want to
Dark
hear
Knight,
that.
Dark
I don't
Knight,
want to
you
hear
got
that.
you gotta look at it like this,
They
man.
treat
Listen,
these players like
you
fine china,
play
Pat. Come on, come on.
you played 3 juggernauts back to back to back in 13 days. You played Dallas. You played Kansas City in Kansas City. You played Buffalo. You beat all these teams, right? You beat
Right.
these teams, and next thing you know, you go against a San Francisco team that's fresh, that had 10 days of rest on your 6 days of rest. That is a big factor. I don't care who you are, how conditioned you are. Yes, you might show some signs of aggression in the first quarter, but you're going to wear down for a little bit. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And you're gonna have these times where these teams, these good teams, great teams, they look terrible, and you wonder how they got 10 wins. It's hard for a bad team to get 10 wins. I'm gonna say that right now. It's hard for a bad team to get 10 wins. There are only 3 teams in the NFL with 10 wins. I'm sorry, 4 teams with 10 wins, and we let 2 of them go. So the thing about it is this stuff is developing. Plays are happening. These players are not making the right plays, and we have to be more proficient and effective at making the plays when the play is in your hand.
All right, I'm going to walk back. I'm walk that back. I was testing to see if you're awake. You're awake. Okay. I was just joking. They, they are tired, and you know why they're tired? Because of this offense. This offense is not performing up to its potential and not giving this defense adequate time to rest in game. And you're right. They are tired because the offense they're not putting drives together. They're not running the ball and the such. I think that whatever ails the offense, if we can somehow solve that problem,
Hmm.
it'll also help out the defense tremendously. If we go back to earlier in the season when we did have our running game going and we were
Hmm.
winning the time of possession battles
Yes.
regularly, we had easier wins. Let's put it that way. And that's
Hmm.
a balance between keeping our defense off the field, limiting the opponent's offense to so many possessions, and then putting points on the board, running an efficient offense where we're putting points up on the board. So we'll talk about which side of the ball is most to blame a little later on. But first, let's bring in our co-host, and that's you guys in the room. We thank you guys for supporting Eagles Talk always. We love you guys, and we thank you guys for hanging in there with us. The first person in the room tonight is Jeremiah Andrews.
But
He says, "What's up, fam? What's up, Jeremiah?" Second person in the room is Mob43 on YouTube. And make sure if you're following on YouTube to hit that subscribe button. Let's get up to 500 subscribers. We're almost there. We're only like five away, guys. Let's get up to 500 subscribers. And, it's hard to get the Facebook family to come over to YouTube. Over 8,000, almost 9,000 followers on Facebook. They will not go over to YouTube, but that's all right. We'll build up a separate YouTube following. It's cool. So we only need five to get to 500. You guys help us out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. The third person in the room is Richard Layton, Eagles fan. What's up? What's up, Richard? And you guys seem kind of upbeat for seeing your team take two ass whippings 2 weeks in a row.
it's called
I
being
like
10
that.
and 3. It's called being 10
That's
and
good.
3.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Karen is the fourth person in the room. She says, "Hey." She also says, "Go Birds." Floyd's in there. He says, "Hello, Eagles family." E Money is on YouTube. We thank you, E Money. Make sure you subscribe. Jackie is in the house. She says, "Go Birds." Jason, my man, where you been at, Jason? All right, I like this. Jason's comment is, "It's not time to panic, but it should be a crime for Swift to only touch the ball 4 times in the first half. Like, come on, he's a weapon. Hand it off, wheel routes, screens is crazy." Yeah.
I
All right.
totally, I totally agree with that.
I
Like
totally agree with
a
that
hundred
also.
percent. Like it is a crime. I said this after the 49ers game. I see Swift has the ability of a Christian McCaffrey if he's given the opportunity.
Yes,
You
I do
can't give
too.
him the ball 4 times and think that's it. Like, come on now.
Look, it's is Brian Johnson wearing is that really Sirianni underneath a Brian Johnson mask on the sideline? I don't know because this offense looks eerily similar to when Sirianni was calling the plays just a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it does. It does. But you know what? If when I went back and looked at the tape, there were guys that were open, NFL standards open, and Jalen, for the life of me, I don't know what was going through his head or what he might have saw. He didn't let the ball go. When normally last year, he would let the ball go, and this wouldn't have been a question or a crime of what he's been doing. But right now, he's not letting. He's not getting the easy completion. Right, the easy completion that propels us into the second and three, third and one. He's not getting that right now, and it feels like something's eerily off. I don't know what it is, what's going through his head at this particular time, this stretch. But he's definitely missing these different concepts that allow these players to get open, like a Julio Jones, like a Quez Watkins, even Dallas Goddard was open a few times that he could hit him quick on a security blanket. You had your running backs open that you missed on. Uh, it, this has to be addressed for this upcoming game moving forward too.
All right, Dallas just they ran up and down the field on us, man. It started off, it continued. We had We had allowed the 49ers to score on 6 consecutive drives, and that streak continued in the early part of Sunday's game. This it didn't look good. 33 to 19, 33 to what was it? 33 to
33-13.
13, right? And we didn't
Yeah,
score not one offensive touchdown.
not a single
We
one.
only got not a single one. So I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask you guys out there that's in the audience. Is it time? Is it time to panic? That's two bad losses against two top teams. Teams
I'm
that we will have
mhm.
to face if we are to complete our task of winning the Super Bowl. We've got to face those two teams on our way to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't look good. Is it time to panic? What do you guys say out there?
I'm a 100% say no. I'm gonna treat you like Aaron Rodgers did when he was with the Packers. Aaron said, relax, relax.
All right, hold
We're
on, hold on.
10.
I'm sorry. Let's answer that in the second quarter. Let's end this first quarter, Pat.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching, listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. On a 2-game losing streak, favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat has returned to the tequila. He's going to do the tequila. I am keeping it light. Well, maybe not that light. I have a Monster Rehab. I'm going to sip on that. You guys let me know what you're doing out there in the chat room. And here we go. To our Philadelphia Eagles. Let's send them some good mojo now. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, so Pat, finish your thought. Is it time to panic, and why not? Why isn't it time to panic? We lost two in a row, Pat. Why isn't it time to panic? And not the fact that we lost two in a row, but we got our ass kicked. We got our ass kicked, Pat. Is it not time to panic? I've been hearing it on Sports Talk Radio. It's look. There's a lot of broken ankles. I know the hospital emergency rooms are filled up. A lot of broken ankles. People are jumping off the bandwagon. Why? Why is it not time to panic?
Absolutely not. Listen, it was only one undefeated team that won the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about the '07 Patriots. I'm talking about the 1972 Miami Dolphins. All right. A lot of these teams that we consider great teams, have slip ups in the season. When you sit there and say it's time to panic with a 10-3 team, something is wrong with you. There are corrections that need to be made by this team. Absolutely yes. Should we panic? Hell to the no. All right. Relax. Relax. Do I got to spell it out for you again? Relax. Take a deep breather. Let it go. All right. It's time for this team. It's time for these athletes. It's time for these stars to start playing our brand of football. All right. We get one extra day for rehab. There were 3 guys that were out of practice today. They'll be back tomorrow. It's time for us as a fan base to really understand that, you know what? This team is actually really doggone good, especially Nick. I know you listen to us when you run the ball more than 20 times. All right. Your record is damn near impeccable when you run the ball and you have a balanced game plan. But no, it's definitely
Uh,
not time to panic at all.
well, I agree with it's not time to panic. I got a couple things to make my case. So, like,
Mhm.
number one, the team that we're talking about is the best team in the league this year. I mean, at this point, who kicked our behind last week are the 49ers. The 49ers lost 3 games in a row, if we haven't forgotten that, right? I bring that up to say that there's ebbs and flows to the season, right? And we're just in that flow of losing 2 games. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in losing 2 games to two of the top teams in the league. That might be a little bit worried had there been lesser teams that we lost to. 3, out of the 6 teams that we played ranked in the top 10, our record is 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not. This is not a bad football team. Not by no stretch of the imagination, right? I think that this can be remedied by merely improving on offense. I think that if we improve, take care of what ails us on offense, which is play calling, play design, and putting points on the board, this team will be right back where we were prior to these 2 losses. I really believe that. I really, like you said, running the ball more is going to increase the time of possession because we got to play. It's just we got to play like we were playing earlier. Like we got to play like that. Like I don't know if those explosive plays are going to be there, right? But I know that they're not going to be there if you don't run the ball to set up
Correct.
the pass, right?
Correct.
I know that some of these, what ails us in the passing game is shortening the routes and being more, window dressing, like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Can we show a little more dressing and not be so bland? Like this is I was doing the play-by-play on Sunday night, and somebody said this was like this was like soul food with no seasoning. Our offense is like soul food with no
What?
seasoning. Yes, that's what it's like. It's like it's like soul food with no seasoning. We got to put a little season salt in there, some
We do.
paprika, some hot sauce, something. We got to do that, right? And I think that if we do improve on the offensive side of the ball, and don't get me wrong, the defense is not blowing anybody away. This is not last year's defense. I get
Mm-hmm.
that. But we're not going to improve on defense as far as personnel wise. Personnel wise, we're not getting better, right? So you got
Yeah.
to help them out the best way you can, and that's limited their time on the field. So you do that by putting together time-consuming drives. You don't have to get them in huge chunks. We can take 5 yards at a time and still reach our destination, which is the end zone. So,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, come on. Let's do some better. Let's do something better on offense. I think that we have the personnel. Nobody's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter. And let me go back to this comment. Somebody actually commented on it, just like I want to put it on there. It says, dang, where am I? Oh, dang, I can't find it. My comments only go back so far. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, but somebody said um, this is just a merely uh, fixing the offense, and a lot of what ails us may be fixed, and I agree with that. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't think it's time to panic. Um, and like you said, it's only the third loss of the season. We're 10-3. Let's not forget that, people. 10-3, and we beat some pretty solid teams on our route to 10-3. But we've
Yeah.
got to turn it around, and we got to do it quick.
Yeah. We definitely got to turn around. You got to understand something. You talking about 2 teams that blew us out, right? The 49ers and the Cowboys. Now, if you go back in history, the regular season is not always an indicator of how the playoffs are played, right? It's not,
Mhm.
because we beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2002. In that playoffs in 2003, we got manhandled by the Tampa Bay. It was no question how badly they manhandled us in that playoff game. All right. I was there. I've seen it. So the urgency is not there. The panic should not be there. I'm sorry. Urgency for the fan base. That's when I say relax. Relax. You have stretches like this with teams. 3 losses, it's not a bad thing. A lot of you guys predicted that for the team to go what 14-3. We're 4 wins away from that actual goal of 14-3. We knew we was gonna go undefeated this season, even though Dark Knight had a couple hosts that thought they were going undefeated.
Yeah, I
You know,
know. That was crazy.
there are
Bizarre.
always speed bumps in this season. That's why I say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
It is. Let me read this comment, and we're going to go It's Jeremiah. Jeremiah said, I can't relax because these coaches haven't shown any change from day one. They haven't also shown they can make in-game adjustments timely. We get behind and we turn to pass happy team. There is no team scared of us. There really isn't right now, but I think that they could be if we call better offensive plays. We have the
Yeah, we
personnel
do.
for you to be scared of. So it doesn't concern me that they're not scared now, because we have the personnel for them to be scared of us. We just have to utilize them in the correct way. And I do agree. It's our coordinators. I've been saying it all year long. Our The talent on our roster supersedes the talent of our coordinators. And we knew that there was going to be some growing pains because these are two first-time coordinators. And what big aspirations to have with a team with two new first-time coordinators to go all the way to the Super Bowl. But even with that, we're 10-3. So I know, we felt good. We kind of looked past their deficiencies because we were 10-1. But after these two losses, we have no other option but to look deeper into what these guys are not doing rather than what they have done.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Dark Knight. But I want to say this. They said we didn't make the proper in-game adjustments. Do you know that the Cowgirls, Cow Turds, only scored 9 points in the second half? 9 points,
Hmm.
3 field goals. Defense stepped up. Offense, offense needs to continue to put pressure on these teams that we're facing. We're right now we're facing Seahawks. Seahawks has a very good two receivers, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. They might not have Geno Smith, so they're probably going with their backup Drew. So we have to take advantage of what we can take advantage of. When the ball is in your hand, make the freaking play and hold on to the damn ball. That's the most important thing right now. These fumbles are killing us. Throughout the three
That
games that we lost, the three games that we lost, I know about to end the score, the Dark Knight, right? The Jets, we had 4 turnovers. The Cowturds, we had 3 turnovers. If we don't have those turnovers and we practice the basic fundamentals of holding on to the football, that changes the whole outcome of that game, of those games.
All right, don't end it yet. Let me get the question out first, and then maybe we'll answer it in the third quarter. But all right, so who's most to blame for this two-game slide? You put it on
Mm.
Nick Sirianni, put it on Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, or do you put it on Desai, the defensive coordinator, or is it any one player? Jalen, I don't know. Offensive line, I don't know. Who do you put the blame on for these two games? And I think we'll answer that in the third quarter. So let's end this second quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
So that's the end of the second quarter. We thank you guys for hanging around with us. I just saw Richard Layton's comment up there. So that's the end of the
Lisa?
second quarter. Um,
Oh yeah,
You are
bro.
watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by us Eagles fans for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. There was a time when I used to brag about them, but we just got our ass kicked 2 weeks in a row. So we're going to have to win this week before I go back to bragging on them. All right, so uh, Pat is doing the tequila. I'm doing a monster rehab. And you guys, somebody's doing the tea out there because they said they're in training or whatever. Let me know what you guys are doing out there. And since we're not in celebratory mode, I think we're going to just drink our sorrows away. So here we go. Down the hatch. Three, two, one. All right. So I asked the question to end off the second quarter. Who's most to blame? And Richard Layton says all of the above. Everyone. Everyone's to blame. The house says everyone too. And she says, nope, I still brag. I know. I know. Um, JT says, I just hope we get some rest.
Yeah, we good. We good. Listen, I know you're going through the comments right now, but Dark Knight,
Yeah, I'm
I
here.
think you make a statement this week.
Yeah, you
I think
think
we
we
make a
make a
statement this
statement?
week, Dark Knight.
But who's to
I,
blame? I mean, we
I,
gotta.
I,
I mean,
well, who's to blame? It's easy to blame the head coach and the two coordinators. That's very easy to say. All right, the coordinators, they ain't doing this, they ain't calling the right plays. But you know who's to blame? It's the players. All right? It's the players. Because after watching some of these tapes, right? And I
all
said
right,
this
you
in the
gotta stop
49ers
drinking.
game when I talked
That's
about
it for you. No more shots for you. You tripping?
I
I mean,
said this when
I
I
know they
said
play a
saw
part,
Eli Ricks. They play a huge part. It's not the coaches making the plays or dropping the
but they have
ball.
to go out
Yes,
there
we
and
get mad.
perform the schemes. And if the schemes
They
suck, what are you talking about?
Dark Knight, Dark Knight, Dark Knight. This scheme is there. The scheme has been there for the past 2 weeks. Defense and offensive schemes. It's been the
No,
players that
that's
put
bull.
themselves
That's bull,
in these
Pat.
bad positions. Oh no, I'm going back to the
I
San
disagree.
Fran
I
game. All right,
disagree.
with Eli freaking Ritz, and don't get me wrong, I like Eli. He's an Eagle, so I like him. But instead of playing inside, he went outside, crossed up with our corner, and was out of position for a third and long. Right? Then you go back to this game when you have an opportunity to stop that many a times, and instead of defending the center of the field, Nicholas Morrow borrows down and hits towards the tight end, leaving the man right open in the middle of the field. It's some accountability that we always put it on the coaches, but why we don't put it on the doggone players? The players are out there not making the doggone plays. AJ Brown dropped the ball and fumbled and pouted. Devontae Smith, I love Devontae Smith. All right, don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. I love Devontae Smith, but he fumbled when he had the ball on the 15-yard line. Jalen Hurts looked almost like he saw a deer in the headlights. All right, for the past 2 weeks, these players, the expectation is raised already. We have all these catchphrases from Jalen Hurts. Do the damn job and get it over with. Yeah, I need to breathe. I see the comments. I've been
You need
drinking, and it's some good old tequila. It's everybody.
I believe that the players play a part, but I don't think they are more to blame than these coordinators. We've seen this offense all season long sputter, and and it's only been, in my opinion, it's only
Mhm.
been because we have superior talent on the offense side of the ball that we've been able to come back in these games, and not because of the scheme that they've been running. They've been running despite that. They've been running despite Brian Johnson poor first half schemes this year, and he's done a better job in the second half in most games, and they've been able to come back. But just think about it. If this was a team with lesser skilled players on the offense side of the ball, we would not be 10-1. If we didn't have Jalen, Devontae, AJ, Goddard, offensive line as solid as it is, we would not be 10-1. Not with this guy calling.
Dark Knight.
I
I, I
think that the players deserve more blame than the offensive coordinator. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have to be. You want to know why they have to be? Because we are the worst team on third down rush efficiency in the NFL. Meaning we do not get a rush on third down. One thing we pride ourselves, and I'm talking about it every doggone week, is winning the line of scrimmage. On third down, we don't do that. We don't do that. So if you're not doing that on third down,
Then it
on
looks
on
like
the
we
money
had the
down,
ball.
huh? I'm sorry, you broke up, Dark Knight. I think Dark Knight is in a bad location. He said it down in Memphis, but third down efficiency for our defense getting to the quarterback is the worst in the NFL. You cannot sustain that and be a good team. All right. I'm not saying our team is not a good team. Our team is a very good team. We're very efficient. We're very a good. That's hilarious. But the thing about it is, we need a stop. We cannot stop, and that's the players. Players are playing themselves out of this. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Riding through
All
the
right.
mountains of somewhere. I don't know, but I apologize, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me.
So
Bad play calling, JT says, but
mhm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's blame to go around. We just I agree to disagree with who gets the most blame, but we have other questions that we need to answer. Like number one, how do we solve what ails us? What do we need to do to solve what ails us?
See, that's the great thing that you said. What can we do to stop what ails us? And it all starts with everybody looking deep down on inside and doing a damn job. Coordinators, players, being understanding the basics and the fundamentals of how it is to play football. Right now, we have a roster that's more talented each and every Sunday than the roster across from us. Right? I don't care that the 49ers beat us by 40 points. I don't care that Dallas beat us by. If you look at these rosters, we are more talented, period, than the rosters that we're going against. These
I agree.
players have to dig deep down in themselves. These coaches included have to say, you know what? It's time for us to get back to basics. And just like the BJ King put up here, the fundamentals of football. Make a tackle, wrap up, wrap up. When you catch the football, two hands, right?
Hmm.
The fundamentals of football is not being practiced right now. And that's why we're not being elevated like we should be elevated. This is a week, this week and the week moving forward is an opportunity for this team to turn this fan base around and say, you know what? They're 2 weeks scared. We can say it's all fatigue. They're ready. They're ready to lead us moving forward.
That's a good call. I like Jeremy's comment right there. He said, "Pat, you play ball, so you have player instinct, and you watch game tapes. You know when that coach called that bad play. If you go use your instinct or roll with the bad call." We've heard some of them. We've heard that complaint
Yes.
out there about Slay sometimes. So but I'm not going to dwell on that. I just want to. I want this question answered. How do I mean, how do we solve what ails us right now? I've said it already that I think that it's a matter, and it sounds simple, but to me it's that simple. Like if we
Hmm.
could correct what's going on with this offense, we help the team out tremendously. I think it's just a matter of improving on offense, a matter
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I agree with you. The,
mixing. I mean, implementing more rushing plays because this is crazy. We see it's like night and day. The rush attempts from earlier this season to
mhm.
the rush attempts these past 4 weeks. It's night and day. And at first I was credited it to the fact that Cam Jurgens was out, but Cam Jurgens is back now. So I don't understand why we're not utilizing Swift. And there was one point where I thought that they were trying to preserve Swift because he's never finished a full season. But now it's time for Moneyball. Now it's time for Moneyball. So I
It
don't
is.
think anybody should be preserved. And I think we need to get back to running the ball and imposing our will. That offensive line, pass blocking that doesn't do a
Mm-hmm.
bad job, but like I say all the time, I think that them running the ball gives them the upper hand. They get the punch instead of retreating. And I think it's
Correct.
a good thing to let them start off punching rather than retreating. Because the other team, they eat. They just pin their ears back. What how 49ers and the Cowboys have been doing the past 2 weeks, just pinning their ears back and coming in on the pass rush. You got to mix it up. You got to at least show a threat to run the ball. And I think that the Eagles have not been doing that for the past 4 weeks, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree with you. Last week, Jalen only got sacked once, and we were able to get after Dak Prescott 3 times. But with that, it's opportunities. Coach always said, when you have opportunity, are you going to take advantage of it, or are you going to look back at it and say, "Damn, I had that opportunity." Listen, it happens in the game. The ebbs and flows of the game is what makes this game of that we love so great, right? The game of football is so great that you have those ebbs and flows. There's no perfect teams. There are no perfect situations. There are players that play the game hard. If you can come out there and be aggressive as a Philadelphia fan base, we can appreciate you being aggressive. Lose by a point, yes, we're gonna be mad, but if you come out there and you play it with aggression, we can appreciate that. That's why we love some of our teams in the past because they came out there and played with a passion. You go back to that '90s Eagles defense. You go back to that early 2000 Eagles team. They played with a passion. These guys got to play with a passion, leave a legacy.
All right, here's a comment by BJ. He says, right now, at this present moment, is fundamentals. But off season, Howie got to change that philosophy of abandoning the run and devaluing the run game and abandoning the second and third level on defense. How do you
Hmm.
feel about that?
Listen, that's a home run right there. That's 100% home run. It's every year we have been somewhere where Howie, or we always say that Howie has abandoned, and normally he corrects his stuff during mid season. This year was devaluing the linebacker position and not giving CJ DJ that long term contract. Um, and sometimes you gotta go out there and give the bad because if these players play and they make this defense move, we need them. We need them. They
All
talk
right.
about constantly T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White how they put up numbers, but they're playing with the terrible teams. Need players that play together and can do the fundamentals for a team to be successful.
Yeah. It could be uglier after
Definitely.
Monday night's game, or we can remedy this whole thing by beating the Seahawks. What do you think we have to do to beat the Seahawks? And what happens if by chance the Seahawks win that game on Monday?
That's when we panic.
All right.
I ain't want
All
to sit
right.
there
Well,
and
let's
lie to
let's
you.
let's put that on
All right.
hold. Let's put that on hold for the fourth quarter. All right, you guys.
That's the end of the quarter.
All right. Let me go to some comments before I start the fourth quarter. Um, I'm going back now. Oh, Sulema's in the house. Sulema's in the house. Hello,
Sula.
everyone. I literally just got a reminder from a 49ers fan about our Eagles two-game losing streak. Shake my head. Man, that 49ers game was so demoralizing. And it's in a couple of aspects. Number one, they kicked our ass. That was demoralizing. And they did
Mhm.
it so easy, scoring 6 consecutive touchdowns, right? But the worst part for me is that we got the most views on our Eagles Talk post game show after that ass whipping. And unfortunately, they weren't by Eagles fans, they were majority 49ers fans. I told
Yeah.
you guys this last week. I didn't know I was elated to get 10,000 views, but I was not elated to get them from 49ers fans who also was throwing us roses because they thought we did a classy job of handling that loss. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that for the 40 Winers fans. I don't know whether to feel proud or, I feel bad about it. I want to come back and be classless just because they call us classy. We're Eagles fans. We're not
Mm-hmm.
used to that. I don't want that kind of compliment. And I told them the only reason we were classy is we were in a Jewish church. We
Yeah, we
couldn't
were.
throw any f bombs because if we were in
Yeah,
the
I was
studio,
close to.
yeah,
I
we
was
probably
right.
would have been cursing the team out. But because we were in a Jewish temple, we couldn't do that. So that's why it seems so classy. But I will say this: I am honest, and we got our butts kicked, and
Mm-hmm.
they are the best team in the league right now. I would never change that. So I think that's what shocked them, that Eagles fans could actually admit that when we got our kicked, and that they are better than us right now. They are, but I am not. I'm not surrendering. I just can't wait to see them again. And our if we continue on in this season and continue to win, that may be inevitable that we have to face them again. So next time we see them, let's have these things cleaned up and let's go back to war. And I'll take my Eagles any day of the week. So all right, we're going to end that quarter. You're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. Here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is still doing the tequila, and that is why he's saying all these stupid things. But I'm still doing the energy
Yeah.
drink. So you guys let me know what you're doing out there. This is for the last quarter. All right, so everybody, raise your glass. So our Philadelphia Eagles, we're going to go get this win on Monday night. Down the hatch.
Yes, we
Three,
are.
two, one.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, so how do we have to, the Seahawks is not going to be an easy game. Maybe it's going to be uh, less hard because of Gino being out. But at this
I
point,
think he's gonna
we
play.
can't take
Somebody said he
anything for
might play.
granted. Oh
Correct.
well, this is going to be tough. Then. If Gino plays, this is not a this is not a walk in the park. We saw them play the Dallas Cowboys and go toe to toe with the Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
Yeah. So
Dallas was on the ropes. They had to pull that game out late with a game-winning drive by Dak Prescott. So the Seahawks offense is capable of doing damage. And after the 2 weeks of our defense reeling, it's not an easy game for us. We have to come out and we have to take care of business. So how do we do that?
smack him in the mouth. Listen, be aggressive. Smack him in the mouth. I saw a lot of man coverage, and I'm a proponent of playing man coverage. All right, I love the man coverage because you put your best athletes on their best athletes and say what you got. But right now, that's not it. Right now, that's not it. We're leaving the middle of the field open entirely too much, and we're letting things happen that shouldn't be happening. All right, we're going to get three. I was corrected. Three good receivers this week. Possibility of Geno Smith playing. If he doesn't play, Drew Luck plays, and our chances goes up significantly higher if he plays. But with DK Metcalf, Tyler Luckett, DK has always been killing us. I don't think haven't won a game in Seattle in like damn near 15 years. Score the first points, hit the first face, basically smack the first face. Be aggressive throughout the game, and don't give this team any hope of beating us. When you give a team an opportunity, hope to beat us like we did with the Jets, they take advantage of it, and we've seen this happen. We cannot go into this game and not emphasize a balanced offense. What's this crap with throwing the ball 30, 50, 45 times per game to try to get your superstars the ball where you have a monster in a running back? You have DeAndre Swift, he's 175 yards away from 1,000 yards a season. Yo, Nick, wake the hell up, dude. Run the damn ball. Balance your offense out so you're not predictable.
All
That's
right,
how you double track.
Pat done drank himself back into his senses. That last
Oh,
shot
damn did.
just added
Damn
some
did.
senses to it. So, all right. So, yeah, I agree with everything you just said right there. Yeah, we have to run a more balanced offense attack, and it's imperative that we get on the board first. I'm sorry, that we get on the board first. In games in which we do that, and if you go all the way back to last year, when we get on the board first and put that pressure on the other team, it bodes well for our team. So let's
It
get back
does.
to that. Those first 15 uh, scripted plays, Brian Johnson seems to do a good job with that, right? It's just that the period between those first 15 plays and halftime, you don't know what you're going to get. You just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And then at halftime, it seems he goes in and makes the necessary adjustments, albeit not these past two games, but earlier in the season. So Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni, and the rest of the offensive brain trust has to go in there, and they are the difference makers. Along with, and I do agree with you, the players have to come out and execute. But it starts with the game plan. We need to see a better game plan on the offensive side of the ball, and then most shocking to me in these past 2 weeks is, especially last week, is that I'm not seeing the fight in this team like I expected to see.
Correct.
I expected to see a bounce
Correct.
back game last week in which this team showed some resiliency and showed that grit and that fight, and that seemed to be missing.
Mm.
It seemed like Dallas bullied us last week. It really did.
They
It seemed
did
like
pull us.
Dallas bullied us, and we can't have that. You know how that goes. You know how the bully goes. If they take your lunch money today, they coming back. They gonna take it tomorrow too. So
Yep.
we got to stop these bullies, and it has to start on Monday night. 'Cause we need, we still have an opportunity here to have a number one seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
So if we have to really lock in right now. You told me the percentage. What's the chances of us locking up the number one seed? Go over those
So
percentage.
so for the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm gonna give you chances for all the teams. For the San Francisco 49ers, it's a 58% chance that they lock up the number one seed. For our Philadelphia Eagles, we have 32% chance. For the Dallas Cowboys, it's only a 10% chance. So we have a greater opportunity to lock up the round, first overall. And also, if we win out, we win the NFC East. So that's the percentage right there, Dark Knight.
All right, that's well, winning the last four games might have been something that seemed like it would be easy to do, but given the way we performed the last few weeks, you can't even count on that. And we're facing the Giants two times. I know the Giants are um, not scaring anybody, but they have
Mhm.
been winning as of late, albeit they're 5-8, but they've
Yeah, that's
won
stupid.
like two in a row.
That's
Yeah, I don't
stupid.
know why they're winning either, but they are. And I'm
They
actually
need
in the
help.
car riding with Giants fans. They've been torturing me all day. I couldn't wait to get on this show so I can talk about the
Well, well,
Eagles.
well,
These
well,
guys
well tell them
are
they stupid.
delusional.
Tell them they're stupid for winning those games. I'm gonna say it. You're stupid for winning those games, Giants fans. You're gonna get a mid-tier round pick where you need a quarterback, you need offensive line help, you need defensive line help, and you're going to be picking on 14, 15 in the first round draft. So you're stupid for winning these games. You criticize us for losing our game on purpose, right? Right? You criticize us for losing that game on purpose, and we turned around and got Devontae Smith with it. What did you do? You got a
Yeah.
receiver that's no longer with you. Sometimes you gotta play the game of chess, not checkers. Come on
Yeah.
now.
And that comment was up there for a long time. I didn't even read it, but it says score on the first possession, get the defense off the field on fourth down, and that's key too. And I think the defense will perform better if they are if they're given the appropriate rest,
Hmm.
appropriate rest, and because they not performed badly. Like you said, they only gave up 9 points in the second half last week, although they got gouged the week before. But
Yeah, they
it
did.
is what it is. Uh, you know, you can help them out by getting them off the field, and they can help themselves out by getting themselves off the field
You did all right.
after 3 downs.
We got the
We've
worst
had a lot of.
efficiency. Dark Knight. We got the worst efficiency on defensive third downs. We have the
I
worst.
I I, I can see that. I
It's the worst
understand
in the
why.
NFL. We had to
Yeah.
be better on that. On that's what we call the money downs, because any player that got a turnover, that had a stop, to make sure that the opposite team punted, got celebrated. They need to bring that to the fuck. Excuse my language, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I, I, I feel like what's your name on ESPN? Like, damn, I cursed.
Well,
It's
this
the
this
doggone
team will make you
Chinchilla.
curse. It will make you curse.
No, no,
Let me go
we
to
need to.
Val's statement.
Go
This
ahead.
is good. I'll let you
Yeah,
finish. Val says, like I said, stop trying to be the one hero and get the 10. I get it. Yeah, that's all we need. We just have to get um, t- first downs. Just try to get first
just move
downs.
the sticks,
I
man.
like that.
That's all you gotta
I
do.
like that. Just move the sticks. I like when the
That's all you gotta
offense
do.
was moving methodically down the field and not looking for this
Sean,
the
I've been
big
drinking,
strike
Sean.
all the
All
time.
right.
Yeah, it's not always there. It's about as they say, matriculating the ball up the field. You know what I mean? Down the field rather. So let's do that, and let's tighten it up, and let's show some darn heart because we just got our ass
Yes.
kicked 2 weeks in a row, and it looked like we put up little fight, and we can't do that. We just can't.
No, we can't do that, man. We
I'm
can't
not going to jump
moving
off the
forward. We can't do
bandwagon.
that. Oh hell no! Excuse my language, but hell
Never
no.
going to do that.
This team has the
All right.
opportunity to do things that we want them to do. I mean, 14-3 is a achievable goal. Being 14-3 right now is an achievable goal. You have the Seahawks. You got 2 games against the Giants. You have the game against Arizona. Like right now, those 3 teams, the Giants and Arizona. I'm sorry, Arizona should be looking for a higher draft pick, so they should be in the running to lose that game. But we still got to come up there with some fight and bust these teams' ass. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, oh no, we can't take anything for granted. And it starts with this Monday night game against the Seahawks, and we don't fare well. We haven't fared well, especially when Russell was there. We didn't fare well when we played the Seahawks while Russell was there. This will be our first time playing them without Russell, and
Hmm.
it's not going to be an easy thing. We have to go up into Seattle to accomplish this. If you have not heard, the game has been flexed to Monday night. It was originally a Sunday game, but it's been flexed to Monday night. So we will not be on the air on Sunday. We'll be seeing you guys again on Monday, an hour before kickoff. And I will continue to do the play-by-play. So watch the game with Dark Knight
I'll
while the
be at the
game is
club.
going on.
I'll be working, so I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring my
that's
head.
right.
I'm gonna bring my headset and everything. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna do my show because they're gonna be celebrating the Eagles there. So I'm gonna do my
Okay.
show live at
Okay.
remote spots.
All right. So Pat, you heard it. Pat's going to be live on remote on Monday night. I'll be in the studio and I'll be doing the play-by-play. So you can watch the game with me on YouTube. Actually, I go live on Facebook too. So you can watch the game with me. We have a lot of fun. Who's on there? It's one of my regulars on there. Rachel is on. Rachel watches the game with me on Sunday. Let me put her comment up here and we're going to get out of here. But she says the 49ers came in with unmatched adrenaline that they've had since we kicked their ass last year.
Yes,
Fuck them, and I mean that as classy as possible.
that's
All
classy.
right. Yo, all I
No
know
problem.
is we got to win this game Monday. And like I said, we will be on an hour before kickoff. You can watch the game with me while the game is going on. Watch with Dark Knight. And Michelle will be joining us there on Monday too. So you guys go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday off, and then let's all reconvene here on Monday night. I'm your man, Dark Knight, for my co-host with the co-most, Pat, and Michelle in her absence. We'll see you guys on Monday. We're out. Peace.
live in 5, 4, 3, 2, smash him up.